folks, welcome back to Around Our World in 80. I am flying solo on this one because Reagan has woken up, so Jared's running out to take care of her. Today's going to be a little bit shorter of a video than the other ones because we were only there for the morning. So we started this morning out at a character breakfast. It's kind of been a tradition that we've started ever since we seriously started going back to Disney's. We do a character breakfast on our last day of our trip, and so this time we decided to try Trattoria al Forno. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I was really excited about this one because it's not only princesses, but it's also their princes. So this is one of the few character meals where you can meet Flynn Rider and you can meet Prince Eric. So yes, we ended up being there at 7:30, which I'm pretty sure is the first seating of the morning. It was a very small group of people in the restaurant at that point, but they brought out Flynn Rider first, and then they brought out Rapunzel, then they brought out Prince Eric, and they brought out Ariel. And all of those characters had amazing character interactions. They definitely spend a lot more time with the kids than they do with the adults. They actually spent a lot of time at the table next to us who had a little girl, and her dad is apparently an artist and made some drawings of Flynn Rider and Rapunzel on one piece and Prince Eric and Ariel on another, and the little girl was actually having them sign the artwork. So that was really, really cool. And they actually ended up giving Flynn Rider gave this little girl kind of a hard time because she had a dream, but it was a secret dream and she wasn't going to tell anybody but Pascal. And so he got a little light up Pascal for her. She didn't seem very thrilled that he brought the Pascal out for her, and they actually left it at the table, and they ended up leaving before us. And so the waiter and the waitress asked if we would like it because they left it. I said, of course, my little girl's gonna love it. So now we have a little Pascal drink character. So that's kind of fun. The food was really, really great. I got the Mickey waffles because that's my favorite thing that they do gluten-free and something I don't usually get at home. Jared got this ginormous fruit platter because he was still really full from our dinner at Le Cellier the night before. It was literally like the size of his head and bigger, just of fruit, and it was all fantastic. So yeah, really fun, really great. Highly recommend if I'm going to be very millennial. But we decided to go out to Animal Kingdom, basically because of the churros, let's be honest. Alright y'all, so we're going to do an introduction to our rental car. As you will notice, it has a very nice touch screen and a USB jack, even an aux jack. And we don't need to right now, but if you put it into reverse, it has a backup camera. As Jared would demonstrate. Ooh! But guess what it doesn't have? It doesn't have power locks or power windows. Yes, kids, this is how you used to roll down a window back in the day. How is this accomplished? We did find earlier when we went to Animal Kingdom, we found some Mother's Day gift cards that we wanted to send the Love Pop kind, and so we went ahead and we bought those, brought some stamps with us, labeled them, sent them out. So that was a lot of fun, and I hope, Mom, you really like yours. And then we rode Everest. We're in the front.
Someone lost a hat.
And we rode Dinosaur, and then we did some extra shopping while we waited for Nomad Lounge to open because I thought it opened at 10:30 and it didn't.
So you're betting on my misery. Thank you for that. I appreciate your honesty. Also, ouch, I thought we were good. Okay, you know what? Here's the deal. Hey, what's your name? What? Kate. Everybody say hi, Kate. Kate, say hi, everybody. Kate, you just made like 150 new friends. Congratulations. I've been here for 3 years, and that's way more than. But anyway, we both them shit. All right, here we go. Oh man, I'm going so fast I can't hear the screams. Here we go. Yeah. We're moving now. Oh, I can't stop. Speed move. Speed move.
So we waited another hour for it to open at 11:30, and we both bought a order of churros for each of us. So one for me, one for Jared. We didn't have to split, and we both asked for just the vanilla dipping sauce because that one's our favorite. And they were still so amazing, and it was probably as fresh can get because it was right as they opened. And then we made our dash to the airport. So once we dropped our car off at the rental car place, we went to the airport, and there was apparently a lot of weather happening in Texas on Thursday, and so a lot of the flights were actually getting canceled even in the days before, and so all of our flights were oversold and had tons and tons and tons of revenue standbys, which if you're a non-revenue standby, that's a really, really bad thing. And Jared had to be at work at 4:30 in the morning the following day, so we ended up just going ahead and we bought me a ticket on United because it was actually way cheaper one way to actually go through Houston to Dallas instead of buying through American straight to Dallas. So I had a ticket. I think my flight was supposed to leave at like 6:45. Jared ended up getting on the jump seat on a flight at like 5:45 on American. And then my flight ended up being delayed due to weather and eventually canceled, but they didn't cancel it for like 4 hours. So I ended up stuck in Orlando, even though I had purchased a ticket, with no bags, because our bag went on Jared's name, and that's a whole story in itself. So I ended up working with my mother-in-law and Jared to get me a new flight the following day in the afternoon, and then get me a hotel close to the airport. So the following day on Friday, I ended up spending most of the day just getting myself a new pair of clothes because I had been running around the park and at the airport all day in the clothes that I had. So I ended up Ubering over to an Academy and a Walgreens and buying just some essential toiletries, and I got a shower at the hotel. I think I just stayed in a La Quinta. And then I went to the airport a little early to list for as a revenue standby on some United flights direct to Houston. I didn't make any of those, so I got to sit in the airport for a good 3 to 4 hours. I made myself busy by just doing some sketches, playing some Zelda, watching some Game of Thrones. I just started season 1, so I'm like not really into the whole thing yet. And then I did get my flight out to Houston at like 5:30 or 5:45 or something like that. And then I made it to Houston. I think I landed at 7. My in-laws, who happened to have Reagan at the time, picked me up at the airport, and we all drove north a couple hours, and Jared was driving south a couple hours and met us up so that we could all get into the car with Jared and drive back to Dallas. So thank you to my in-laws. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being flexible and helping us out while we were all trying to get home. In the meantime, the crazy story is that our bag that was supposed to be under Jared's name and go on the direct flight to Dallas somehow ended up in Philadelphia. And even though Jared had filed a claim for it when he got to the airport on Thursday, it never made it on a flight to Dallas from Philadelphia on Friday. And so we subsequently spent the next 5 days on the phone basically constantly with the AA baggage claim service trying to get our bag from Philly to DFW. It was quite the ordeal. It was very stressful. It had most of my clothes and my toiletries, all the gifts that we guys showed you on the last few videos. Those were all in the bag. And yeah, all of our memories were in there too from this trip. So it was not the most ideal way to end a Disney vacation, but the good news is we did get our bag back, and all is well so far. And I got laundry done. Honestly, this trip was absolutely amazing. Jared and I were talking about just how much fun we had, and it was very low-key. We weren't trying to run around and do, you know, a million things in our day. We didn't feel pressured to have a whole bunch of rides. We had a list of things that we wanted to hit and places we wanted to eat, but we didn't power walk. And we got to do some things we normally don't get to do, and that was really awesome and very, very magical. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our Disney trips. We're going to be doing some other things over the summer, and we do have another Disney trip scheduled for September, which, yes, means that Star Wars will probably be in that trip, because when we booked this, it wasn't supposed to open till like November, December, and then poof, it's gonna open right before our trip. So be tuned in for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see y'all real soon.